This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the Crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning. Right back like we never left. Another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. If this is your first time checking us out, we greatly appreciate you making us a part of your Saturday morning, a part of your breezy 27-degree Saturday morning, that is.
Yes, indeed.
What's happening, y'all? How was y'all week?
Frosty.
Super.
Like the snowman, huh? This week has been roughly cold.
Mm-hmm.
Breezy.
Yeah.
No Chris Brown, huh?
So cold it hurts.
Like your boy Jalen.
Yes, indeed. The system.
Now, this week went by pretty fast. Christmas is in what? 7 days?
Like
eight days?
We just started December. Like what?
Yeah.
I'm so
And
confused.
December,
Santa's coming.
December got somewhere to be.
most definitely, just like 2022.
Facts.
We've got a lot coming up on today's show to talk about. The Chiefs. The Royals. We're going to talk Chiefs too, but the Royals, they're going to be the topic of discussion today. Some community groups, they've organized opposition ahead of the Royals downtown stadium meeting. So we'll dive into that coming up in a few minutes. And Argentina will take on France in the 2022 World Cup final tomorrow at 9 a.m. Will you guys be watching that?
That should be messy.
I like what you did there.
Good one.
All right, the NFL is discussing in ejections, on roughing the passer penalties. It's getting a little serious out there.
Yeah.
No?
I mean, yes, but that's a crazy rule, but yeah.
And Chris Paul, he celebrates college graduation by gifting his fellow graduates $2,500 each.
Yes, sir.
Pretty dope. All that coming up on today's show. Let's get to today's headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on the W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Some Kansas City community groups are organized opposition ahead of Royals downtown stadium meeting. Several groups are organizing in hopes of halting or ensuring representation and a push for $15 minimum living wage. Q, what are your thoughts?
I mean, it's every time we talk about it, new stadiums, this is the angle I'm always at, because there's always people that look like us that are being displaced, but not only displaced, aren't even hired to receive any of the billions of dollars it takes to build these stadiums or even to run it. And I mean, that's what KC Tennis does. They're looking out for the citizens because we know John Sherman isn't.
Yeah. And then when you look at the KC Tennis, I mean, they've done a lot over, I think COVID was their inception, right? So, but this is a little different. You have $1 billion organization that wants to build and rightfully create jobs, right?
Yes.
It's not like they're just coming in and they're just going to take from the city. They're going to add to, not just from a standpoint of not only adding jobs but adding to the city, adding to tourism, adding to just the overall development, economic development of downtown Kansas City. And what people don't want as well as people moving out is taxes to go up. Like the main question is who's going to pay for this? And I think John Sherman has a lot of I see where he's coming from. Like billionaires want to stay billionaires.
Mhm.
They want to build, come in, build, and then reap the benefits of it. It's business. But at the end of the day, like who is it going to affect? And like what Casey
Exactly.
Tennis is talking is just the people that already live in that area.
Yep.
But I look at it like this. I think it happened maybe within the last 10 years of when they built the police station on 27th Street, 27th and Prospect. There were a lot of homes, older folks that lived over in that area where the police station is now built and it's currently sits. And the city came in and said, hey, you guys, a lot of these homes are blighted, but the folks that lived there couldn't pay to keep them up, but they were still living there. They were their homes. And they're like, well, we're going to give you a certain amount, to move out, and we'll find you a new location to move to. Folks agreed to it. Some folks gave pushback, but at the end of the day, it got built. Yeah. And that wasn't as near as a $1 billion deal like this is. So I think at the end of the day, there's going to be pushback, but the stadium's going to get built wherever they want to build it.
Yeah, no, that's that's the bottom line. The stadium is going to happen just like the police station. And I mean, that's a whole nother conversation to talk about how much police steal from citizens. But this is in the same breath. This is stealing where people live and displacing them. And you hate to see it because yes, it does offer the city something as a whole. But even the money that they give people to move out, and I feel like it's similar when they were building 71 throughout the city.
Oh, of course, yeah. That too.
they offered people money for their homes, but it
on a dollar.
It wasn't what the houses were worth. It wasn't what the land was worth or anything around that. And it was a lot lower. And I mean, I have some family members that were in that as well, and it's a tragedy to see, especially if you know the people that are getting pushed out, because there's nothing they could do. They have no voice, and that's what it is. It's business over their lives, and you just hate that because you would hope that the Royals cared about their citizens enough to make sure they're good.
But you talk about good, but what about the greater good? Like is and I don't know the numbers of like people that they will be moving out. Because I mean, you look at that area, 18th and Vine. I mean, you have Parade Park where, and I see it. I don't know if people are talking about it, but I see them when folks are moving out. They don't like move new people in. So they're just kind of letting them just slowly but surely kind of just move out. And it's happening all over that area. But then again, you get that area and it's like, what's happening down here? Like you get all these blighted spaces. Then when tourists come in the area, when they go to the Negro League Museum, when they go to Soiree and places like that, they see the blighted spaces, and it's like, what could be done to make that a little bit better?
What could be done? Because I mean that the 18th and Vine is one of those districts that's owned by the city. So again, if the city owns it and it looks like that,
right?
Why doesn't Power and Light look like that? Why doesn't the Crossroads look like that? Like, why is it always the spaces that Black people take up? That's
is Power and Light city owned, or is it owned by Cordish?
I think it's operated by Cordish. Okay. But I mean, the city, I believe the city pays taxes on that.
Okay.
So we keep that running.
Okay.
So again,
I know T-Mobile Arena and the college basketball, that stuff on that side is city owned, but I didn't know about Power and Light.
I mean, I believe Power and Light is too as well. But again, like that, they don't offer anything to residents. They don't offer anything to people that are intentionally looked over, and that's something that needs to be addressed. And John Sherman isn't interested in addressing that.
And I thought that the $15 minimum wage push was interesting because I know, like, in certain cases with a like Top Golf and Main Event, so in that case they can deem you as an entertainment center, and then you still make server wage because you're making tips, because they get around doing the $15 minimum wage because they deem themselves as an entertainment center.
Exactly. So
how do they go about that?
exactly. So they want to push people out, and then when they ask, well, it's just like, hey, just give us more pay, and it's like, no, we can find these workarounds. So again, they find the workarounds when they want to.
Yep.
But when it comes to their own playgrounds, they make sure everybody's paid, except for the people that they intentionally overlook. So it's a cycle of things that happens, because we like to say it's just business, but it's more than that.
Yeah.
Like it's actually more than that. It's people's lives. And you just hate it. And I hate it, at least.
And I look at like different stadiums around the country, and you have like SoFi in LA.
Mm-hmm.
A stadium like that of $2 billion. I know it's football, baseball, but the comparison is still there, because he's
Yes.
talking $2 billion.
$2 billion.
Deal. And I think SoFi is probably what, $6 billion or something like that, but close. And I look at how many people it, not only to build the stadium, like contract work. I know like J.E. Dunn's going to be in there, but there's going to be a lot of small businesses that get that contracts to help build. And then once it's done, we talk about the workforce, and it's gonna put in a lot of jobs, because the stadium of that magnitude, we're not talking like 73,000. You talk about a $2 billion stadium, we're talking 110, 120, 120 million people. I mean, 120,000 people that could, be in there, and that's a lot more of workforce that could take place in there.
Yes, it's a lot more, but I bet those residents don't stay anywhere close to the.
You don't think so?
No, definitely not. But that's why they're asking for a livable wage.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you could brag about bringing all these jobs, but how many of those people working those jobs to help build this stadium that you have are being paid a livable wage, that don't have to go get a second and third and another part-time job?
Yeah.
And that's the thing that gets overlooked. It's like, oh, we have all of these jobs. Well, yeah, if that job pays $4 an hour, like, what does that do for the economy? It doesn't do anything for the economy. So that's, again, they're asking for, a raise on minimum wage. They're asking for this fair pay, and it's not going to happen, because they want the stadium built. They want John Sherman to make his money. They want him to stay happy. They want his family to carry on whatever legacy that they have, and not care about anybody else. So.
Yeah, but it's either we allow him to move it to downtown KC, or Kansas City, Kansas is going to be happy to get the stadium.
I think he needs to put out a product that the city can be happy about first before getting a new stadium.
Okay.
Realistic.
Yeah, realistically, like, I don't need you 15 wins out of 100 and something games for the last 30 years, and then say, hey, give me $2 billion.
Okay.
Now, another messy one, like Q said earlier, Argentina will take on France in the 2022 World Cup final tomorrow at 9 a.m. I guess this is kind of another goat and baby goat situation.
Yep.
Messi, a lot of people are saying that this is his final shot at a cup, while Mbappe is going for his second by the age 23.
Oh, wow.
Steve, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of storylines in this match, right? Like, you're getting Messi, who, arguably is one of the best to ever do it, but he hasn't won a World Cup. So I think this would kind of be one of the highlights of his legacy of winning this World Cup, where Mbappe, he's won one already. He's trying to go for back-to-back. So.
Go, baby, go.
Yeah, I think it's just, this is going to be a great game. I'm happy that it's at 9 a.m. I wish it was like maybe a Sunday night, but they don't want to, football, regular football. So I think, or it could have been Saturday evening, right? Like, I just, to me, this needed more of a showcase than just 9 a.m. on a Sunday, because it's going to miss a lot of people, especially those who go out Saturday night. And I see some people on Facebook talking about, oh, we're day drinking all day, we're watching football, football, right? But yeah, it's going to be a great match. Better than I thought it would be. I just wish. And I'm going for Argentina. I don't know who y'all going for, but I like Argentina. they beat the Netherlands, who the Netherlands beat U.S.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that hierarchy thing. Like if only the U.S. would have beat the Netherlands, they would have faced Argentina, and then possibly, you know,
would they have beat Argentina though?
Oh hell no! You gonna make me curse, kid? Nah, but yeah, it's gonna be a great game.
Yeah, I'm definitely going. I just want to see Mbappe get a second by 23 to be compared to Pele already.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like that's insane. And just, I mean, obviously you got to honor the GOAT, respect Messi and everything, but I just think it's time for a new wave, new energy.
yeah,
And I think I would love to see that for him.
yeah.
No, definitely same.
And both these teams, Argentina and France, are looking to win the World Cup for the third time. It would leave either team outright fourth place all time behind Brazil, which has 5, Germany and Italy, both with 4, and Germany's title were won by West Germany in 1954, 74, and 1990. So
Brazil.
But back to back is tough. You know,
Mhm.
just shows how good, how dominant, world soccer is.
Yeah.
But I think US will be up there, and it's gonna be here in Kansas City in 4 years. So
back to back, you think the Chiefs had some advice for them? What they could, shoulda, woulda, coulda? Steve.
now you poking the bear.
Yeah, definitely poking the bear. You was there.
Yeah.
Now the NFL is discussing ejections on roughing the passer penalties. Q, your thoughts?
I hate this. I hate it because we already see the disparity in which quarterbacks get late hit calls and roughing the passer. So this is gonna widen the gap even more. Like you're not gonna be able to touch the Tom Brady's, you're not gonna be able to touch the Aaron Rodgers and the Kirk Cousins. Like you're not gonna be able to touch them, but then like the Justin Fields, you'll be able to like throw a shovel at him and it'd be okay. Like, and I hate that, but I just hate it for the defenders because what do? Like, if you get a roughing the passer call, you're out of the game. Like,
yeah,
it's going to look a lot worse than targeting,
and it leaves it up to a ref it leaves it up to like, all right, well, I know you'll have a hierarchy of, okay, well, the ref makes a call, then you have to phone into New York, someone who's watching that game, and then it just leaves it up to them. And so I think you never know at the end of the day what someone has on the game with sports betting, and I hate that it has to go that way, but at the same time, you just never know what these folks have on the game, and it could possibly cause a lot of controversy of a call that's like, oh, well, that wasn't roughing the passer. Oh, well, look at what you called last week, or look what you called in week 1. Now it's week 17, and you're calling this call now. Like, why are you calling that? So it's Troy Vincent and the Players Association. They're definitely going to have a task on their hands this offseason trying to figure out. And I get it too, because you see what happened to Russell Wilson last week. You saw the blood coming out of his mouth and his eyes roll back in his head, and so you don't want that to happen. You want quarterbacks to be safe, but then again, it's football, so you know what you signed up to be in. And granted, these defensive linemen and linebackers, they're much faster than they used to be.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's gonna be crazy.
No, yeah, and I don't even think they vote this rule in. So
you don't think so?
No. I mean, does the Players Association have a say in this?
They do.
Yeah. That's why I don't know if it happens, because then you're looking at a bigger purse on fines as well, because then what's the fine going to be? I mean, that's probably going to be upwards 20,000-30,000. I mean, the NFL is my conspiracy brain. The NFL is just trying to get back the money that they're already paying out.
Okay.
And so little things like this will be able to take it away. It's like those credit card fees. They just keep adding fees on top of fees. And that's what it's going to end up being. And I hate it for the players.
And I know we talked about it a little bit watching college football when we were watching one of the games and a kid was about to get thrown out. And I think it's just like so quick now to get ejected. And I don't think people look at how much that affects the dynamic of the game.
Mhm.
Like in a big game like that, in a big play, that could change the whole, like, I don't know the right word to say, like the whole energy of the
Momentum.
game.
Yeah,
it's a
momentum of the
swing,
game
yeah.
of ejecting somebody. So I think it should be thought about or not so quick to be ejected nowadays.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, NBA's Chris Paul celebrates college graduation by gifting his fellow graduates $2,500 each.
$100, baby.
$2,500. Let's hear from CP3.
You know, some of my classmates today was asking me questions like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? He was like, you probably hate being famous or something like this or whatnot. And I was like, man, being here with y'all made my day. You know, there's so many different things that we do on a regular day as far as being an athlete. I'm playing all these games, but sometimes you just want to be normal. You know, you just want to do the normal things that everybody else does. I wanted to stand outside and wait with them. I wanted to talk to them and let them hear from me and me hear from them. And it's a big deal. Everybody has their own journey, their own experiences, and I wanted the full experience, you know, of what it meant to be a graduate.
Yeah.
That's dope. I mean, we didn't see Steph doing that.
Nah,
We didn't see
yeah.
Steph. And one thing that they didn't mention that I read was that he not only gifted the $2,500, but he also gifted he bought a car for one of his classmates.
Mhm.
So
I mean, that's way more than John Sherman is doing for the city of Kansas City. And
we hear a lot about, you know, stuff off the court with or off the field or whatever with a lot of these players. But a lot of times we don't dive into like what they're actually, and sometimes these guys don't want to be, or women as well, they don't want to be notarized for the gifts that they give and for what they do for their communities and things. I mean, with Kyrie Irving, as much flack as he got about the negativity that he got about, you know, what the statements that he said, it wasn't that same energy that was given when he donated to the young lady who lost her life in Mexico.
Yeah.
Right, to her family and so many other like charitable donations that he's made, and also Chris Paul. Like this isn't the first time that he's done things for the HBCU.
Yeah, and I know his team owner isn't doing it. His team owner is probably actually mad at that.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
Like his team owner probably wishes that he gave that money to him. So, but that's I love it for people like that because again, like he said, he wanted the full experience. He wanted to come and interact with these people. When you have like your Sarvers and your John Shermans, they don't even want to touch people that they perceive as poor.
Yeah.
And so that's the disconnect there. It's like, you know, Chris Paul is wanting to be a part of the people. He wants that authenticity. I'm sure in the rooms that he's in, especially with his celebrity, he doesn't meet people as authentic as he's met at that college, that are as young and as curious, and just being jaded by those rooms that he's in. It turns him around and says, hey, I would rather give them this money. Like he could have easily bought his family all $2,500 purses.
Yeah,
like he could have went out and bought he could have been twerking for a Birkin. But what he did was he took these kids and whatever it helps them pay off, it helps them get some sort of a jump start. And I mean, you love it for them.
Yeah, and I don't know what the digital platform Greenwood, but it was some sort of bank account with that digital platform Greenwood, and so the funds will be put into that, deposited into that platform. So not only does he give the money, but whatever that platform is, it may be even a bank account, because so many of young people don't even have bank accounts, especially that come from impoverished environments. They look negatively upon, you know, having an account, having, you know, starting good credit and things like that.
Wow. Yeah. So Greenwood is a digital mobile banking platform made for Black and Latino customers. And it says best in class services include virtual bank cards. So, I mean, and that's not an ad, but, you know, Greenwood, if you want to holler at the W show, you know, but no, but that, I mean, again, just pushing that forward. Like, I don't know what type of funds that they put behind that, you know, to help, but
Could have been a matching thing too.
And that's what they're in there helping though. Yeah. And so that's the good thing. I mean, the story that led the top of the show to going into this. I mean, this is what John Sherman should mimic. He shouldn't be trying to mimic making more billions.
Yeah,
definitely. And I feel like, especially lately, we've seen so many stories where rappers or whoever like gifts one of their coworkers or their teammates. Yeah. So it's nice to see now where it's like, this person's not your trainer. This person's not somebody that necessarily coached you to get to the point, but you don't know how that like professor or whoever it was impacted you to help you get there. And I like seeing them bring up those people versus like bringing up your current teammates who could buy it on their own if they wanted to.
Yeah, I agree. Like, especially around this time, Christmas, we see the Instagram, the dreaded Instagram post or Twitter post of, such and such quarterback has bought all of his teammates Louis Vuitton travel luggage, the whole set. That's upwards almost $100,000, right? So his offensive lineman, or bought the wide receiving group or whatever. Yeah. How about take that $100,000 and say, okay, guys, we're going to go to each one of your causes and donate this amount of money, and we're going to drop it off personally and sign autographs or do something like that. So we haven't seen one, and I don't know if it could be someone that's done that, but haven't seen it.
And I mean, people probably do it quietly, because you look at a lot of the different donations that Jay-Z and Beyonce made. Yeah, I mean, even previous to 2020, like even back when the whole Mike Brown thing was going on, I believe they were bailing protesters out of jail that were wrongfully detained and different things. But then they're also going after the KCK Police Department for their injustice, like inserting that type of money into again these intentionally skipped over communities. I mean, it helps a whole lot, and it helps put people on a trajectory that can be successful in whatever realm it is.
Thanks. Now, NBA unveils redesigned trophies for end-of-season awards. Some of them are the most valuable players, MJ, Clutch Player of the Year, Jerry West, Rookie of the Year, Wilt Chamberlain, Defensive Player of the Year, Hakeem, Sixth Man of the Year, John Havlicek, and Most Improved Player of the Year, George McCann.
Yeah, I like
George Mike.
I like all those. I like all those trophies, right? Because you're not getting the we talk about it, the LeBron, the Kobe, the Allen Iverson. Now, granted, I know that they'll probably move these out at some point and place those or find different ways, because you're going to get a best shooter award. Steph Curry, it'd have to go to him, right? Like best ball handling or something like that would go to Iverson, or score or something. So this is actually dope, and especially that Jordan trophy, man. Like I really love seeing that. Because it's a lot of thought put into just the trophy design itself.
No, definitely. I like them being able to take this step, because again, even like Jazz not being able to pronounce some names, but I mean, these are guys that we didn't even see play as we were younger.
Especially Hakeem Olajuwon.
But I mean, we saw
the tail end.
Yeah, we saw Hakeem play, because he played in the 90s going, I think he retired before the 2000s. But even still, like the George Mikens, the Havliceks, like we heard those names, but we never saw them play.
Only thing about the George Mikan drill, like that's the only way I know George Mikan.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like if we were able to watch sports and be around it, so like we would just hear these names, but we don't. There's no facial recognition. Like if somebody put up a photo of George Mikan, I couldn't tell you who he is. I don't know him from Homer Simpson.
No, but definitely. And I think the new wave thing, I feel like the MLB should take some notes on this for something new. Yeah. Rechanging it. I like it.
Yeah,
and there will never be a Tim Duncan trophy ever. We gave you the shout out with the shoes, the sneakers, but there will never be a Tim. Like there will have to be Shaq trophy before Tim Duncan.
Well, I mean, Tim Duncan could probably get like the most efficient award, like because the big fundamental.
Get a backboard because Mr. Glass.
Now we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll discuss the Chiefs were flexed out of Sunday Night Football and the ratings took a hit. Keep it locked in. This is the W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us. 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Are you ready to take your gaming experience to the next level? Max Adrenaline Mobile Video Gaming is here to offer the best mobile entertainment that includes video games, laser tag, and karaoke. Our mobile video game theater offers a 33-foot climate-controlled luxury RV with 5 gaming stations, and we can accommodate up to 20 players at once. Are you looking for entertainment at your next event? Well, look no further. We'll come to you. Specializing in birthday parties for all ages, sports events, team building, corporate events, school functions, holiday parties, and more. We're here when you need us at 816-897-0509 or maxadrenalinekc.com.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it, message us, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. Now, the Chiefs were flexed out of Sunday Night Football, and the ratings took a big hit. Steve, your thoughts?
This is interesting because we hear about how much certain players can affect like TV ratings. Like we talked about players from the 90s, like the Jordan era. Like we had WGN here and we just talked about that in the break here in KC. So like we'd watch and we definitely would affect their TV ratings.
I definitely watched Jordan probably I think it was every Tuesday. It was like between Tuesday and Wednesday those games came on.
Yep. So we definitely affected those TV ratings. And now you're getting a lot of this star power with younger generation of players and with various ways to watch it, whether from your mobile device or from, in an airplane. Like we didn't have that in the 90s, but now you're able to affect just the numbers. And so with Patrick Mahomes, I think, and when this article came out, I'm like, wow, he definitely not only has a nationwide, but he has worldwide star power and to flex him out of a game. And not only that, but Russell Wilson. And I get like, oh, well, the Denver Broncos are terrible, like, but it's any given Sunday. And so if these TV companies, or not only that, but just like Fox would adhere to that any given Sunday rule, then I think they'd be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I also don't see a problem with flipping that out because, I mean, even that Chargers game it's a big game, wasn't it? And so I don't have a problem with that because it's still two rising stars going after each other. But yes, Patrick probably would have moved the needle a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, just the throw that he had. Like that within itself, I mean, as soon as it happened, it went crazy on
Mhm.
social media. So
Now, Carlos signing with the Giants on 13-year, $350 million mega deal. It's the fourth largest guaranteed money deal in MLB history.
Sheesh.
Secret
yeah,
thoughts.
these young players getting paid, man. But it's another example of bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Like last year, he turned down the Giants' $160 million offer instead of taking a 3-year deal with the Twins that paid him $35.1 million for 2022, and then he opted out this season. So he got some money. He got the $35.1 million, and then parlay that into a 365.
But it also comes with no opt-outs and full no trade clause. So what does that mean to y'all?
It's huge.
Yeah, because I mean, he literally just stays there in Silicon Valley for 13 years, and that's I wouldn't complain. I mean, definitely, and not being in that tax bracket, he's gonna be free to move about the country.
Yeah, people don't understand how important that no trade clause is, though, because you're in baseball, especially. I mean, even though everything is guaranteed, they can't do nothing with you. You can sit there, you can, whatever. You nobody can say anything to you.
Yeah,
like you can't trade. What are you gonna do? Trade me? Can't do it.
Because didn't A-Rod have a no trade when he went to I think it was the Yankees?
Yeah.
I mean,
So a lot of these guys, these big name guys, have no trade. Shout out to Kobe for starting that.
A-Rod was before that, but okay.
Kobe started it.
I mean, you would like to believe that.
I'm serious. Like that was one of the big stories. Like no trade clause. What is this? Seriously.
I mean, you're trying to convince me, and it's
I'm being 100% honest. Like Kobe started that.
It's a valiant effort.
All right. Okay.
Now, our college athletes' employees, a case against USC, Pac-12, and NCAA to move forward at National Labor Relations Board. The group's effort to establish NCAA athletes as employees under federal labor law has received a notable boost. Q, your thoughts?
I mean, I love it because it's a step in the right direction, especially when you are up against the NCAA that has paid politicians to not take on cases like this, to keep student athletes classified as that so they don't have to pay them, and then they restrict them from things like NIL. So now it's a new season and it's a new day. And if things like this get passed, I mean, what the sky's the limit. But on the other end, I don't know how the NCAA is gonna retaliate, and that's the part I worry about with the student athletes / employees. If something like this does win, how do they retaliate towards those players? So then you start again looking at fines that are unfair and bringing out these roughing the passer type things, and then fining these kids $5,000, $10,000, $25,000, like something like that. And it can get ugly, and I hope it doesn't get ugly. I hope the NCAA is fat enough in their bank account where they don't have to worry about kids making money.
And that's where I worry too, because in one of their statements, it was employees entitled to protections under our law. And so what is their definition of protections? Like when they were trying to protect women by making them report their menstrual cycles, what is your definition of protection?
Preach, Jazz. Okay. Yeah.
Like that's the part that concerns me on how, like, what power do they have then over athletes? Like you said.
Yeah, no, and they're definitely going to try something because they pay these lawyers to come up with these loopholes and figure things out. But like you said, like what type of protections do they have? And it's like the police. They're supposed to serve and protect, but they've never done that. So like they don't stop crime. So again, with the NCAA, like what's up their sleeve from here, and especially when they start losing money, because when they start losing money, people losing their lives is nothing to them. And
And not only that, but I think the biggest thing that comes from this and why the NCAA doesn't want this to happen is because if they agree to this, and that'll mean the players can unionize, and there's power in numbers, and if that happens, if you have a union, and I don't know like who would be the union president, it'd have to be someone that's a part of the union, right?
Mhm.
Like, so I don't know if it'd have to be a player, if it had to be like a coach or somebody that's able to
wouldn't
help.
even say a coach.
Yeah, it'd probably have to be a player, right? So with that being said, when they have to go against a union, there's just the power in numbers, and a lot of times you're not going to win that fight.
Yeah.
You're just not against the union,
And
especially if the union, because then you can strike.
Mhm.
And it makes some real noise. So, at the end of the day, I think it's a step forward. We've seen California, which has UCLA, USC, all these schools. They were the forward thinkers in the NIL deals, right? Like they helped catapult now the rest of the country, which is still slow to kind of agree to it all, which now they've agreed to all of it, but there were still steps that needed to be taken.
Yeah.
And the state of California really enhanced that. And shout out to them. I think this is another step in the right direction for college sports.
No, definitely, because it gets to a point where, like Bob Johnson said, now the inmates are running the prison when you got
Right.
when you gotta deal with a players union.
Yeah.
And I know the heads of the NCAA, they was hoping they could run that slave ship as long as they could.
Yeah. But it just gets people paid, man. Like at the end of the day, you get a lot of these college athletes that I mean, we talk about it all the time. What's your plan B? Like, now it makes it more of a level playing field where I don't have to come out of college thinking about like, all right, how I'm gonna take care of my family. I've played this sport that I love for the last 4 years, really didn't go to college to learn anything. I went to hoop or I went to play football. Now I don't have anything to fall back on because I didn't graduate. So I do have, $50,000 to $100,000 in my bank account though. So that will definitely give me a boost, whereas coming out in debt.
No, definitely. And versus coming out in debt and committing crimes and all that. And then people, are mad about, fake mad about crime and all that. Well, okay, give them opportunity. Like that's all they're asking.
Definitely. Now, Cowboys' Micah Parsons is asking for some opportunity or forgiveness on backlash from Eagles fans after Jalen Hurts remarked, "Pretty sure they hate me." Let's hear what Micah had to say.
If we look at the Eagles, is it Hurts or the team? I think it's a little bit of both, man. I think it's system and team. They got a great offensive line, which helps Hurts. Hurts has A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. They got a good running game. I mean, bro, like the Eagle Cowboy coming up, ain't it? Yeah, it's coming up. I'm not trying to make no enemies. I just love the game so much, and I understand it so much that like when things are off, I just can't like hold it in. Like I almost gotta say something. Like his stats and what he's been doing with the numbers that he be putting up is MVP worthy, just like what Patrick Mahomes doing. But that pass with Patrick Mahomes was nuts, was insane, bro. But that's what he does. Mahomes is an MVP.
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it.
Yeah, we heard it from a rival. Now let's kick it to a San Diego a LA Charger. Let's see what they have to say about Patrick. Man. But no, this is the same type of comments that were being made about Patrick Mahomes in his first year, and actually his MVP season. So it's funny to see him say that. But yes, he inadvertently gave Jalen a nickname, so now he's the system. So anytime anyone refers to Jalen, it should be the system. Talk about the system.
Okay.
All right, Q.
The system, huh? No, but I understand. Because any time that you have a black quarterback that's able to move the needle, which whether it's make money, whether it's be good at being a quarterback, leading a team, or whatever it is, they always talk about either he's athletic, and just to take that back to Patrick Mahomes, what did we talk about earlier this season or even last season? Oh, well, Patrick Mahomes is not only a system quarterback, but he has Andy Reid. Or not only that, but I can't remember the guy's name that came out and said that, oh, what Patrick Mahomes is, he's not a real traditional quarterback. He just, draws plays up in the dirt, and he goes out there and plays the street ball court. That's what it said. He said he's a street ball quarterback. Well, is it because he's black, or is it because he's just good?
Yes.
So that narrative has to change.
Yeah.
And I'm just not just saying that just because of Patrick Mahomes, but I'm just saying that across the board for Jalen Hurts, for any of those guys.
Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
I mean, the list goes on. Like all of these comparisons all come around to the same point, and we know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And then his team owner is Jerry Jones. Like, yes, you're gonna share some sentiments that are similar to Jerry Jones. Like, yeah,
but not even that though, because I think Dak gets those comparisons. You get who am I leaving out? You're getting those comparisons when you try to throw the Josh Allens into the mix when it isn't warranted. Josh Allen hasn't won anything. I would say more Joe Burrow than Josh Allen.
And I mean, Joe Burrow was I think that was an anomaly of a year. I think he was in a right place, right time situation.
Okay.
Because even still, you haven't seen it transferred over to this season until like 2 weeks ago. Like the the Bengals were a middling team. And I mean, you could almost say the same about Dak. And I mean, but Dak I think with him, it was more health issues and team issues more than it was him. So again, like, Patrick is at an advantage because he was able to sit behind a veteran quarterback for a year, also get acclimated to the system, also have the same coach, also have the same offense leading into his career. So that helps. Dak didn't have that.
Like Jalen Hurts didn't have it either. Yeah, they threw him in there.
Yeah,
and so
just even
Carson Wentz. Yeah, Carson Wentz. But then,
is it
Carson Wentz?
Was it Carson Wentz? Because I thought Carson was gone last year. But either way, he had to sit behind somebody for the majority of his first year. Then he came in. I think it was like the last 3 or 4 games from last year.
We got some Cowboys fans on here too going in.
I mean, that's fine.
Josh Lewis is on here. Talking about Cowboy. Of course, Adam Garcia is on here talking about they all from Texas. Mahomes, Hurts, facts.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they all are from Texas. That's funny. Yeah,
Dak ain't from Texas. He's soft. That's funny.
but Dak has his issues that he's up against, because I wouldn't necessarily put Dak in that realm of like Patrick, and I mean I necessarily wouldn't put Jalen in that, because I mean we could say that yes, this is a 1-year fluke. And the Chiefs had to see that with Patrick. Like, yes, you won an MVP. Yes, you won a Super Bowl. But hey, take us back to the Super Bowl, and then we'll give you $500 million. And that's what happened. Again, betting on themselves. So with Jalen, we still have a lot to see. But yes, what he's doing right now in this season, he's taking advantage of what's in front of him. Like, he didn't say, "Hey, give me a team that only has 1 loss through most of the season." Like, you can't just go in and pick that.
And he mentioned that Texas thing, which is interesting because, like Patrick won that he went when they went to Super Bowl, and I witnessed this. They went to the Super Bowl. He won the MVP, Super Bowl MVP, won the Super Bowl. Still walking around with like no security, just him, his dad, his girlfriend, his brother. And I just felt like he didn't know he was that good, or he didn't know just what his stardom was.
Yeah, because you have to grow into it.
Yeah,
you have to grow into.
So I just was like, and I attribute that to being the down home, the Texas culture, that sort of thing.
Yeah, because even with when Dak first came into the league, the Cowboys did well. Him and Zeke were like a 1-2 punch type of combination.
Yeah.
And I think that first season they went like 1 or 2 losses, but then lost in the first round. So again, like Dak has a lot to prove in that, right? But Yeah, I mean he needs to look at his own team. like yeah, you could make all of these comments, but
Yeah.
that's this is what I love about this era of football though, is that guys want to say a lot more and they really can't, because he was like, yeah, I don't want to make no enemies here.
Yeah.
But nah, he knows, because the Chiefs just went through it. Like Justin Reed just went through it saying, oh, I'm gonna lock him down. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
But then when the game came, he must have forgot his keys at home, because he didn't lock nobody.
Now, on that note, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll have our Hate It or Love It segment. Kick it off with our Sneakers of the Week. This is W Show. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us. 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Are you ready to take your gaming experience to the next level? Max Adrenaline Mobile Video Gaming is here to offer the best mobile entertainment that includes video games, laser tag, and karaoke. Our mobile video game theater offers a 33-foot climate-controlled luxury RV with 5 gaming stations, and we can accommodate up to 20 players at once. Are you looking for entertainment at your next event? Well, look no further. We'll come to you. Specializing in birthday parties for all ages, sports events, team building, corporate events, school functions, holiday parties, and more. We're here when you need us at 816-897-0509 or maxadrenalinekc.com.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag Talk About, message us, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. This week, our Talk About It is, what is your favorite Christmas gift ever? Q, we'll start with you.
Favorite Christmas gift ever. That's a good one. But we were actually just talking about game systems. And sorry, this is
good.
Before you were born. The original Nintendo system.
Ooh, okay.
I think it was, I don't know if it was the Christmas my parents bought it for me or the Christmas after, but they got me like this big like track pad to go on the floor.
Yes. I remember that. Yeah. You be on that thing like,
and so like it was almost like Wii Sports, but it was a big pad, and there were like I think it was like 8 or 16 dots on it somehow. And so you would like run in place and you would do like hurdles and stuff. And so you could play with somebody next to you. So yeah, that trackpad was, since we're talking about best. Yeah.
So on the same track, mine has, and I got to shout out my papa for winning it one of the Christmas years, Just Dance. So my family, we always did like a rock band, Just Dance, something that the whole family can get involved in on Christmas. So shout out Pawpaw. He took the cake on Just Dance one year. But that had to be my favorite. It was the Just Dance game.
That's dope. Nintendo, definitely. And I don't want to get mushy, but my son, like, Peyton's born December 26th, so it's like, Christmas baby. So I had to say shout out to Peyton on that one. He was definitely my favorite Christmas gift.
Heck yeah. Now, starting off the sneakers of the week this week, we got the Nike Air Max 1 Master Magma Orange.
I like these. These are dope.
Yeah, they're decent.
Good fall shoe.
The New Balance 550 Vintage Indigos.
I'm going to give me some 550s just because I see people wearing them and they look good with sweats. You can wear it with jeans, dress clothes. Yeah, I like these. I'm going to have to give me a pair.
I'm just hopping on the wave. I wasn't a fan in the beginning, but I think I could rock them. They're good, personal.
And these are New Balance?
Yeah. So what's the rapper's name? We saw him at Super Bowl. We saw him perform. We went to the performance at this
Jack Harlow.
These are Jack Harlow's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I like that
Just
colorway.
different colorway.
Yeah, I like the colorway.
Okay, because these you would get made fun of when I was a kid, so that's funny.
The Adidas Crazy One Stormtroopers.
Love them. Kobe's first shoe with Adidas.
Oh, okay, because these are trash to me. But I mean, because they look like what was that truck, the Aztec?
No, but like these were the first like foam type or second iteration of foam type shoe for Adidas. So yeah,
I'll pass on these.
Super pass.
The Air Jordan 7 Cardinals.
Classic.
Yeah, like these.
Tough, very tough. Now the NFL shuts down. Rulebook loophole for the Raiders had been exploiting for the past 2 weeks. Hate it or love it.
I love it. Love it.
Test confirmed Cardinals QB Kyler Murray has torn ACL. Hate it or love it.
Hate that for him.
But good thing he got his money.
Yeah, and it's more study time.
Jerry Rice calls out 49ers Kyle Shanahan after Deebo Samuel injury. Hate it or love it.
Oh, I love this. Call him out, Jerry. Call him out. Let him know.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about that, but yeah.
Yeah. Wiz Khalifa signs 25 college athletes to NIL deals under Taylor Gang Entertainment. Hate it or love it.
I like that. And so I'm wondering what's the I don't know, because I mean, even Drake just signed the FaZe Clan guys too. So yeah.
I mean, because they have in college athletics now they have gaming on it.
Yeah, and so and that's what I'm like. Okay, I'm looking at this push of
huge money behind gaming.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, this push behind it. So it's something.
12U football player in Texas who looks older leaves internet confused. Hate it or love it. Let's hear from the 12-year-old.
They already follow me. Yes, sir. Hey, man. I don't know. Yeah, I record. How old you is?
12.
Boy, this boy 12. Boy, look here. Only time I hear the word 12 is when we running from them. But right now, I talk to 12 years old. Boy, look here. If they don't go to the NFL, it's racism. Yes, sir. Boy, you ready? And they gave you the hot. Boy, look here. You deserve it, boy. You deserve it. They told him.
They gave him the Heisman. You know they give him the Heisman. That's the trophy.
Dude's 12, man. He big as heck. I knew a couple guys like that were just like out crazy big when they were like 12, 13, had facial hair and all that.
My senior year, you remember the guy George?
Oh,
and
yeah.
He was like 13. I don't even think he was 14 yet.
Yeah.
And he could bench something. It was like 275 pounds, and he had never touched a barbell in his life. Like,
I saw George after high school. He was coaching youth football too.
Yeah, that's cool for him to still be in it. But I mean, just some people, they come out strong as an ox.
It wasn't me. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I missed on that train apparently.
Yeah. But yeah, that was dope. We appreciate everyone who joined on today's show. We love the comments. Thank you guys for always, just commenting on the Facebook feed. If you're watching us or if you're listening to us rather on 100.1 FM, remember you can always interact with our show using hashtag talk about it. Also, you can comment on the Facebook live feed.
Yeah, definitely.
What you guys have going on for the rest of the day?
Got some Christmas parties lined up today. You know, it's Christmas season for me. So
you got all that Christmas shopping in? Christmas shopping?
I got to get mine done. I guess that's what I can do.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do this week.
Yeah. All right, we appreciate everybody, like I said, for joining on today's show. Until next week, we are out of here.
The views and opinions expressed on the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundations, or affiliates.